What's up, guys? I'm here at the Harley 120th Homecoming. So for the trip, I'm now 3,600 miles in on this Pan Am. Basically had 600 miles when I left. It's been great. This thing is a Swiss Army knife, kind of. I was planning to be just really on-road, and I actually ended up off-road way more than I expected. So I was able to use the off-road functions. I encountered rain, like I said. I was able to use the rain mode, going through the national parks, the twisties. Like, this thing going down the highway in the highway mode feels kind of traditional Harley. It's flowy and smooth, but I'd come to sections where I'm like, oh, I want to come in this turn hot or whatever, just instant hit the sport mode, and the thing stiffens up, more power, more engine braking, and it just like, it did everything I wanted it to do. I'm still playing with the seating position. I added a bunch of material to the front of this seat and took some off the back to kind of give you a more upright seating position. My previous concern about the lower radiator hose is it's something I'm working on as a part, like, to address that. I think it's a little bit of an area of concern for me. Even that fireproof shield that I have on there starts to change color a little bit and get crispy. So I definitely think there's like a little too much heat close to that hose. So I'm working on something there. The windshield stuff, it is adjustable. I've never had this in the down position. Like, for my height, which I'm like 5'10", the wind really does kind of hit me right in the helmet, like where you don't want it to hit you. So again, I'm gonna address this situation when I do my custom stuff and hopefully make a new windshield. Bars, like, again, 2-inch up on this thing was good, but I could probably still use just another bit more pullback to be able to allow me to sort of sit more upright. I definitely still feel a little bit leaning forward with just the way the frame and the whole bike is constructed. I'm really glad I added the highway pegs. That was like, definitely having this sort of slightly rear mids. You know, you're any position, even if I had forwards and only had forwards, your legs are going to be tired and cramped. So having different foot positions for really long rides is kind of a must, in my opinion. These bags were great as compared to like the more off-road bags. These hold more. They stay dry in the rain. I mean, this bike has a lot of power. It's fast. Like, you can comfortably cruise at 95 miles an hour if you wanted to. I didn't do that, of course. Maybe. Not much else to really say. I mean, I still have more than half of this trip to go. I'm sure I'm gonna encounter more stuff, but coming out here, I will say, like, the first leg of my journey was Long Beach to Bend, Oregon. I got to ride tons of really good back roads through the mountains. Like, it was hot, but it wasn't too hot, so that was really good. Bend to, let's say, Jackson, Wyoming was the next day. I actually passed Jackson, but good ride. The beginning part was nice. It kind of got a little boring in the middle with just the scenery, but once I got up towards Wyoming, Jackson, Wyoming, up in the mountains, oh man, riding this thing was like really fun. Like those twisties and stuff, and like, I came through the Yellowstone Park sort of at the end of the day, and there was like really no traffic at all. So I was able to really like kind of lean on this thing and even pack down with like a lot of extra weight. It handles and corners really good. I basically did like almost 3 800-mile days in a row. The last one from wherever I was to Ohio to the swap meet, I woke up and it was about a 450-mile day, but dumping rain, like really, really dumping rain. Oh, that was coming out of Sioux City, Iowa to Wasion. A lot of rain. But again, if you have good rain gear, like, it mitigates 99% of the problem. Yeah, you're still gonna get a little wet. But yeah, it was good. Going into Iowa, Well, let me rewind and say, I purposely set my GPS to basically take like all 2-lane roads. Like I avoided all tolls, I avoided basically all the highways and took nothing but like 2-lane farm roads. Basically 20 east from Bend, Oregon, all the way to Wauseon, Ohio was basically almost the same road, and like farm roads. But at one section it did, I just kept going straight, but the GPS told me to go straight and I followed it, but it was 15 miles of gravel and mud, and I was not planning on adventuring that hard. So yeah, I did have a little bit of an incident, but again, nothing I couldn't fix on the side of the road, but like really heavy wet clay, mud and deep gravel for 15 miles at the end of an 800-mile day was not fun. But again, you know, nothing is guaranteed. This is all like, we don't really know what we're getting into. So it was fun. In the end, I'll look back a couple days from now and, you know, that was fun. Okay, whatever. On the trip, all the gear that I chose to bring was great. I didn't really have any major issues with anything. Like I already talked about, the rain gear worked great. The Akin stuff was good. I wore these gloves the entire time, suntan to prove it. I wore the jacket most days in the morning and at night. I definitely took it off in the day, like again, 100-degree days, like I switched to the vest just to get some airflow. But yeah, that thing was absolutely great, kept me warm. I didn't crash, so I didn't really utilize the Kevlar, but it was good. And again, like I wore it, I got to my destination, I could go meet a friend, have dinner, whatever, and it was like normal. It felt like normal gear to me, which is what I prefer. Helmet, like I already talked about, really no issues there. I have Bluetooth, music, directions, so that was really, I mean, without that, like I probably wouldn't do this trip. And again, the transition lens, like I leave 5 in the morning, I leave 6 in the morning. I don't stop riding sometimes till 9:30 at night. And up here in these higher states, it gets dark at 9:30, 10 o'clock sometimes. So, and the lower states sooner. So changing the lens, it sucks. So having the transition lens is really nice. I said before, I'll ride with a water bottle behind me in this, on my pack. So the modular, if like, this thing has cruise control, which I utilize the hell out of. Actually, let me go back. The cruise control is a game changer. I used it non-stop. So you can ride, set the cruise control, modular helmet, take a drink of water. I was chilling. It was great. By the way, let me just say, you can obviously see and hear all these bikes around us and stuff. We're at the 120th in Milwaukee that Harley's doing. It's crazy. There's so many bikes here, and like this is obviously a special event, but like if you get the opportunity, the museum that's behind us is so good. Like if you're into motorcycles in general or Harley specifically, and you haven't been to this museum, you're dropping the ball. The museum is so sick. Though it's like a really well put together museum. Aside from the bikes, like it's just really well done. The tank wall, to like see the different eras of paint, I can like clearly look at that wall and say, I'm in love with that era, I'm in love with this era. Like, it's very inspiring to me. Obviously, like the Nova project that's in there, like what turned into FXR essentially, that fairing and the other stuff. And just all the models, like just, yeah, I mean, there's so many interesting, cool bikes in there. The history, everything. Like I could go through that museum. I've been through it 4 times, and I could go through it another 5 and still never get bored. It's really good. But yeah, there's so much stuff going on here today. Like, I don't even know where to go. There's like the concert last night was cool. The whole thing was cool. This is like really, it's just a really good event. And from what I understand, there's more to come with this stuff. So hopefully, yeah, I mean, in another year, another 5 years, whenever they do another one, I'll be here for sure. So when I leave Milwaukee, I'm gonna ride back to Indianapolis, be there for a few days, get the bike tuned. Then I'm gonna head to Nashville for a show down there, Paradise Road show. Then I'll be there for a couple days. Then ride further east. I'm not sure if I'm going directly to Maryland or somewhere else, and then there, I will relax at the beach when I get there for a day or two. Pretty much then turn around and come right back. I think I'm gonna go through Sturgis on the way home. I have some places I wanna visit. I actually have some places in and around Tennessee I wanna stop at. So I'm only 3,600 miles in this. I probably have another 6,000 at least to go. I probably will be around 10,000 by the time I get back. So probably the next video that we do will be once I'm home, with the bike getting cleaned up and probably starting to get torn down for the build. This is the pre-build ride. Now next we'll go into the build. But yeah, I've got lots of seat time in this thing and lots of time to think about what it's going to be and, you know, all of that. So again, thanks for watching. Hopefully going to do more of these videos and just keep creating content that I think is interesting, or, you know, hopefully you guys think it's interesting. I don't know. Let me know, I guess. We'll see.